Well, good evening, everybody. It's your boy, Mr. Infuego, with another episode of the Baseball Card Junkies podcast. Hope everybody's having a stellar Saturday. So, real quick, we're going to go ahead and knock out a quick roll call. By order of posting, we've got Arnie from thecarddeal.com. We've got Canadian Card Breakers. Jason, how you doing? Ripping for Rookies is here. We have Bobby Sapp. We have Nikki Two Time. We got Matty Ice Cards. How we doing, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's had a very good Saturday and a good weekend thus far. So, we got a little bit to go over, and there's a couple of items towards the end of the show that I do want to open up the floor to kind of do a discussion and get everybody's thoughts on it. But real quick, if y'all looking to get any tickets that are to your favorite team's baseball game or whatnot, all right, make sure y'all go to SeatGeek. You got two promo codes that's scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go ahead and use those codes so you can capitalize on it. Save you $20 off your first order. All right. All right. So the first thing we're gonna go over, obviously, it's gonna be your upcoming releases. And there's really no change, but we are going to get into a little more detail with everything that's being released. So without further delay, first thing we're going to talk about is your 24 Donruss details. All right. So obviously we know this is going to be releasing on the 3rd of July. I was going to say June. But Blowout is saying the 12th. But I went on the Beckett site, and per their calendar, it's saying the 3rd. So we're looking at a relatively big window. But anyway, the configuration for this hobby box is going to be 24 packs per box, 8 cards per pack for a whopping $130. So if you're one of those kind of individuals that could care less about the licensing or whatever the case may be, by all means, then this product it's got your name written all over it. All right, so a box break, you got 3 autos or mems, 48 base rated prospects, 24 optic, 24 insert / parallels. Okay. Again, if this is something that y'all into, hey, by all means, knock yourselves out. But here's some of the cards that you'll actually find in it. All right, so you got your base, then you got your rated prospects, Signature Series auto, and clearly they're going to be sticker. Then you got your rookie patches or prospect patches, if you will. New design for your bomb squad, and you got the big head whammies. So, yeah, that's basically all I got for Donruss. Next one we're gonna go over is Topps Tier 1. We still got some time for this one, but as far as I remember, the release for this is gonna be no, actually, it's gonna be released on the 3rd of July also. So basically, this is what some of the cards are actually gonna be looking like in the product. All right. I believe it gives you the opportunity to pull up the checklist. Yep, we do have the checklist. Okay, and there goes all your base, which doesn't look too bad. And you got tier 2, which is longer than tier 1. Then you have tier 3, which covers pretty much all your rookies. And some of the rookies you got in here: Yamamoto, Ellie, Dominguez, Shanuel, Rafaela, PCA, Caminero, and many others. All right, here's your list of autos. All right, Ellie's got an auto. Churrio's got an auto, even though he got sent down. Jackson's got an auto. So that's gonna be the checklist. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that in the chat as well. So feel free to go ahead and take a look at it. But the layout for this box basic, you're gonna have 2 autos and 1 relic per 4-card box, and there's 12 boxes per case. There is no price on it just yet. So Once I find out the price of it, then I will go ahead and let everybody know the cost of that. All right. So that's pretty much everything that we got for tier 1. But here's just a couple of pictures for it. Got the bat relic of George Brett. Here's some other cards that are in the product. You got your bat knobs, red auto ink, got your rookie autos. So not bad. Not bad. I'm not gonna lie. All right. So that's that. So now, what is this? This is a check. Okay, that's the tier 1 checklist. Gonna get rid of that. Gonna get rid of this. All right. So the next thing that we're gonna be talking about, and it's a little bit early. They're now saying that the release for Topps Chrome 2024 type is going to be released 17 July. Okay. So basically, obviously, you're going to have Ellie as the cover athlete for the product. The prices for Chrome, the hobby, is going to be, everything is pretty much 30% more expensive than everything than previous editions. Hobby boxes are now at $189.99, while jumbo boxes are pushing $389.99. So I don't know about you, but this is probably going to be another product where I'm targeting singles. All right, so basically the overview and the set actually did go up again. Now the base set is actually 300 cards, originally from 220. All right. And some of the early season debuts, you will have Jackson Holiday, Churio, Wyatt Langford's going to be in it. I mean, there's really not much of a difference with this product, with the exception of some newly introduced inserts, and a chrome finish for the most part. So, like, for example, we got Juan Soto here on the expose. That looks pretty cool, in my opinion. I mean, then the other one that I know Fanatics and Topps has been advertising is this new Fanatical, which to me, and I could be wrong, it looks like an upgraded home field advantage. I mean, I do like how it comes out. You still got your little home city background behind it. So, I mean, it looks cool. I guess you could consider it a home field advantage with that's been chromed out. So, not bad. All right, then you got your MVP buyback program for the 3rd year. Depending on who gets elected for MVP of the American and National League, you may want to hold on to your base until we have a definitive idea of who's going to be those MVPs for both leagues. All right. Again, I gave you the prices. I will go ahead and put this link in the chat below just so that you have it. And let's see, is there anything else that I did not cover that I should have? No. Besides, okay, actually, the checklist is out. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I'm sure you guys could get it too, but figure since I'm already here, let me go ahead and knock that out. So I went ahead and dropped the link to the checklist for the product itself. And yeah, so that is what we have for the upcoming releases. And I'm not going to go over product reviews because we've already gone over Platinum Anniversary. We beat that horse to the ground. We've beaten Series 2 to the ground. So, I mean, there's really nothing different that I've seen lately. I do know that I have yet to see any of the Negro League cards that were recently released. Haven't seen anything on YouTube with that product yet, so haven't seen anything on TriStar, on Leaf Lumber, or anything else that is coming up. So who knows? All right. So now the next thing we're gonna go over is our top 5. And top 5, I am using the resources of Market Movers or Sports Card Investor, whichever you prefer. And we're going to figure out who's this week's top 5. 3, 4, 5. All right. So number 5 is gonna be the 1973 Topps number 305 Willie Mays. And if you've been hiding under a rock, in case you haven't noticed, we did lose who was once known to be the oldest living Hall of Famer in baseball history. He died at the young age of 93. So with Mr. Mays no longer with us, the next one to actually take his spot as the oldest living Hall of Famer now is none other than Luis Aparicio. Okay, but with this card in particular, it came in at number 5. So with this card, we have seen a 7-day increase of 9% with a 30-day increase of 36.8%. You will not find this card raw because there's none available. But as far as PSA 10s have been are concerned, the last one actually sold on Golden Auctions March 15th, 2023, and it's a pop 3 too. This one sold for a low price of $79,200. Okay, so this is what we're looking at as of right now. This is the chart going back 180 days for this particular card. I've got a PSA 10 up, I got a PSA 9 up, and apparently we actually did have one that was more recent than this Gem Mint 10, and it sold on March 20th of this year for 1.9 thousand. So that's not bad. Haven't seen any for PSA 10s because they're probably not really out there. All right, so that is number 5. Now we're gonna move on to number 4. Let me go ahead and pull him up. And no, I just ruined that. 1 second. Having a little minor delay. I actually deleted it and I shouldn't have. All right. So number 4 is the 1993 Upper Deck SP number 279 Derek Jeter. With this particular card, we've seen an increase in the last 7 days of 14.3% with a 30-day increase of 49.1%. Buying this card raw, you can probably get it for about 130 to about 150. Now, the last PSA 10 actually sold December 17, 2022 at a golden auction, and it actually sold for $204,000. So that's a pretty penny. All right. And basically, this is what we're looking at. Most recent, other than what I just documented here. All right. At a PSA 9, one actually sold May 12th this year for $3.6 thousand. Okay. That was the last sale. Average sale within the last 60 days, about just over 4,000. All right. And for this, you're not going to see any PSA 10s because, and I don't even know why he actually showed up, to be quite honest. So, all right. So that was number 4. Now we're going to move on to number 3, and let me pull up a little thing here, and that is going to be, bear with me, and for some reason these are not showing up in order. All right, here we go. All right, number 3, we got the 2022 Topps Chrome rookie auto of Heliot Ramos. This card has seen a 7-day increase of 75% with a 30-day increase of 132.8%. Getting this card raw, you'll be looking to spend anywhere between $40 to $45. Not bad. At a PSA 10, actually none has sold just yet. So it's just going to be a matter of time before we see one actually coming through. But I do have his chart up, both at a PSA 10 and a PSA 9. So the last PSA 9 actually sold on the 9th of June this year for $27.85. But on the last 30 days, we've seen that average sale of around $24.50-ish. So if you're a Giants collector and you need something like this in your collection, it's a good opportunity to go ahead and pick one up. And you really don't have to pick one up that's a Gem Mint 10, but if you happen to be one of those sticklers and you do want gems, by all means, knock yourself out. All right, moving right along to number 2. And number 2 happens to be the 2024 Topps Golden Mirror image variation of John Means. Okay. So this card has seen a 7-day increase of 701%. Ridiculous. And a 30-day increase of the exact same. Most recent average sale for this particular card, raw, it's about $31. Okay. And the most recent PSA 10 has been none. And I can understand why. But anyway, let's pull up his chart. Clearly, we don't see anything because none has sold just yet. Don't know why he would make the top 5. I haven't heard anything through the grapevine on him. If you know of any accolades or any achievements that he's done to warrant being on this top 5, go ahead and drop it in the chat below and share with the rest of us. All right. Now, this kid, he actually belongs in the top 5, rightfully so, the number 1 spot. And I will pull him up right now. And this kid is none other than the 2017 Bowman Draft Chrome First of Royce Lewis. This kid has been tearing it up since he came back off an injury. All right, so he has seen a 7-day increase of 32.9% with a 30-day increase of 88.4%. You're looking at getting this card roughly for about $5 to $10. Most recent sale at a PSA 10 was today, actually, and it sold for $55. Now, let me pull up his chart so you can see he's actually on the rise. Okay, so last sold today. This was one that sold. This was 4 that sold yesterday. All right, and that was at a PSA 10. PSA 9, the last one that sold was for about $19. And last 30 days, you got an average of about $30. And I need to go ahead and keep moving these. You know what? Let's get rid of them. All right, cool. So this is what we got on our top 5. Now, the reason why Royce Lewis actually is on the top 5 list at number 1, and actually put a note in here to make sure that I remind myself, is because of the simple fact that he is the fastest individual to get 10 home runs in a 16 game span. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, and some other names that have more in their first 16 games of a season. You've got A-Rod did it with 12 home runs in 2007. Mike Schmidt is tied with 12. He did it in 1976. And then you've got Aristides Aquino at 11 in 2019. And then we got the Machine who tied Aquino at 11 in 2006. So rightfully so. He's doing his thing. Hopefully he stays consistent. Okay. But other than that, that is your top 5 for today. All right. If y'all come in, make sure y'all hit that like button for me. And let's see any other additions that actually came in. So we got Sticks G in the building. We got Hobby Hound. Okay, I know Bobby's been in here. Kenneth Bird, how you doing? Victor Negron, Kenny Weaver, KC Car Connection, how's it going? Alan Forrest, Titus from God is Great, Spicy Bear. All right, so we're not doing any trivia today because I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head, but I will have a trivia question for you guys next week. But we're gonna go ahead and jump into some hobby news. First thing I want to go over is I do have an update on the 2 gentlemen that stole just over $2 million in sports cards from that memory lane auction that occurred in Ohio. All right. So grand jury indicted these 2 gentlemen in the $2.1 million baseball card theft. Okay. Now, what does that mean? They basically have been officially charged with the crime. Okay. They're not convicted yet. They're in the process of actually going through the motions of assembling. They've already assembled their jury. They're now both the defense and the prosecution are getting their cases together for presentation. And we have not yet got a date on the court. So here we've got the photos of the 2 culprits. The one on the left is Jacob Paxson, and the gentleman on the right is known as Jason Bowling. As of right now, okay, oh yeah, by the way, both men will be arraigned on the 27th. So we'll see how it plays out from there. Now, they've been saying for the longest since this story first surfaced, a total of 54 cards were stolen. 52 have been recovered, and we're still waiting on 2. This is one, the T204 Ramley of Walter Johnson. So if you happen to go out into an LCS or you're scrolling through eBay or whatnot, and you happen to see this, you've got your serial number here. Okay, make sure you go ahead and report that. Do your due diligence. What's that saying that they've always reported on the news? If you see something, say something. This is one of those cases. Second card, 1941 play ball of Ted Williams. All right, near mint 8. So that's what we've got going on with this right now. So I did some research on this because at one point, I was pursuing a degree in criminal law. So I did do some research and I was looking up the state statutes for the charges and the sentencing if convicted. All right. So basically, this is Ohio's laws on theft and larceny. So in this case, since we're looking at a total value of $2.1 million, okay, we are looking at a first degree felony. So that's what we got going on right now. So now, if convicted, okay, in the first degree, we're looking at a prison sentence of anywhere from 3 to 11 years and fines not to exceed $20,000. So for $2 million, you're telling me that you're just going to basically sentence them no more than 11 years. Okay. And they may get less depending on if they get out, if they, do the right thing while they're serving their time or whatever the case may be. Are they first time offenders? Do they have a history or something? So there's a whole bunch of variables associated with this. But in my opinion, I think these laws and punishments are nothing more than a very big slap on the wrist. That's just my opinion. Okay. And I'm going to stick to that. If you don't like it, change my mind. All right. All right. So that was that. Now, the next thing that I do want to bring to your attention, and we did talk about this a couple of weeks ago, where PSA is actually coming up with some new slabs, and they're supposed to be somewhat as close to indestructible as whatnot. But I'm gonna go ahead and show this video that was done by Jeff Wilson, and apparently he's got some feedback in regards to these slabs. So let's see what he's got to say.
From PSA, and these are the new PSA slabs. What I wanted to find out was how big of a problem are the little lines that people are complaining about on social media that they say appear on some of these slabs. Now, I went through a lot of the slabs and I couldn't even see them on most of the slabs, so that's good news. But there were some where it definitely showed up. And what I discovered is it's really dark cards that have black backgrounds. I'm pointing my finger right now at the area of the slab where it's got that little line. It looks like a scratch on the card. It's not a scratch on the card. It's how the slab was created. It's not a scratch on the slab either. It's nothing no way you can remove this. I think it's a minor deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It would be nice if PSA could find a way around it. But for me, it's not a deal breaker. I'm still grading with PSA. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
All right, so what is everybody's thoughts? First off, has anybody received any submissions with these new slabs? And if so, please share your experiences with these new slabs in the chat below so that we have a better idea of what we're dealing with. Are you having those issues that were identified, Josh? Jesus. Okay. Now, is it that noticeable where it kind of sticks out, kind of like a sore thumb, or is it something that you could basically just look over and really not put too much thought into it? Because I mean, I've got an order here that I'm getting ready to send out. I mean, it's not going to deter my decision from sending to a PSA, but I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's I guess it's all dependent. Okay, so it is annoying and it's fairly obvious. All right. Well, hopefully they'll get it right someday. That's all we can really say on that. All right. So what else do I have here? All right. So check this out. In case you guys are not aware, or I know I don't do it. I don't read like terms and conditions of a product or a service that I'm getting myself involved in. But I was watching a video today with Neo's Cards and Comics, and this one actually kind of forced me to do so. And what I am going to do is I'm going to share all of that with you. Let me just get my ducks in a row and let you know what I'm talking about. All right. So first thing is any day now, don't really know when specifically, but graders notes will be released upon submissions that have been graded already. But there are caveats to that. Okay. And some of the caveats, according to Neo, and what I would like to do is I'm gonna put the link to his channel, specifically that one video, so that if there's something that I missed, he actually does a pretty good job in covering it. So I want to go ahead and drop that in the chat for you. But according to PSA, the graders notes will not be made publicly. Okay. And basically you'll get those notes after on the submitters account and that account only. But the thing that I see with the graders notes, and let me see if I can pull it up here. Oh, on top of that, yeah, they did mention that also in the terms and conditions, you as the submitter, if you are found that you are in violation of advertising said note or whatnot, and basically this is the terms and conditions screenshots. I've actually got it all right here. It's going to be number 14. But basically what this is saying is if you take the grader's notes and use it for purposes other than knowing why your cards got the grades that they did, you will be in trouble with PSA. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you all this terms and conditions. Okay, take a look at number 14. That covers everything in regards to the graders notes. But basically, here's my thing. Some of the pros that I do see with the grading, obviously, is going to be the transparency. Okay. Tag, they do a very exceptional job with giving you their version of graders notes, and they show through their AI system where the flaws are, what flaws were identified, and what flaws they are. CGC, if I'm not mistaken, actually does that with comic books as well. Okay. PSA, I don't see why they would not make these grades public like they should. But here's my thing. Some cons that I can see about this, and the reason why they probably updated the terms and conditions to reflect this, is probably because they don't want, for example, they don't want Josh from KC Card Connection to get that 50 card submission back, and somehow he sees his submission is nothing but a whole bunch of 7s through 9s. He looks up the reasons for those grades. He drops a video regarding those grades. Okay, they don't want to get scrutinized individually because of those grades. And I believe, and this is just speculation, and I know Neil did say it, but I'm going to piggyback off of what he said because it does make sense. I think they don't want to make it public as far as releasing the grades to the public, is because if you happen to have that individual, that is into shenanigans, if you will. For example, if you have somebody that goes to a national, and for some reason they come across a table that's got an 86 Fleer Jordan on it at a PSA 7. Okay. And let's just say he pulls that serial number into the PSA app and it gives the reason for the PSA 7. He would likely look at the reason behind it and try to formulate a way of beefing that grade up from a 7 to an 8. Okay, that's just what I'm thinking. So it sounds legit, But if that's going to be the sole purpose, it kind of hurts the consumer also, because I mean, we see slabs on all these aftermarket places all the time. If we go and see, a Julio Rodriguez numbered the 5 auto at a PSA 7, for example, I'm not going to really know why that car got a 7 definitively. I can sit there and speculate till I turn blue in the face, but I'm not going to know for sure as to what led for that car to get a 7, you know? So, I mean, hopefully when this does get rolled out and the customer feedback is actually starting to come in at PSA, Nat Turner will take that feedback and hopefully make this product the grading public, for a lack of better terms. And I'm not singling him out there, Arnie. Shut your face. Anyway, before I was thrown off. All right, so the next thing that I do want to talk about is grading standards. Okay. That was also updated according to a post that I saw on Twitter under Tiffany Cards. Okay. And Tiffany Cards actually has a website that I do want to go ahead and share with everybody. Please take a look at it. He does have databases of cards that's already been identified as fake or altered or doctored, whatever you want to call it. But he does have a database of all that kind of stuff in there. Make sure y'all go check it out. But basically, this is verbiage that PSA has actually included in their grading standards. Okay. And the grading standards that I'm talking about is the one that you find off the website. All right. If you go all the way down to the grading definitions, we're looking at N7, evidence of cleaning. And the change that they made is additionally, when a foreign substance is applied to the surface of a card, such as cleaning spray or wax. Now, I don't know about you all. Maybe I'm missing something, but has PSA made an announcement or anything down the pipeline that states that they've got a method to determine if a card that's been sent for grading has in fact been cleaned or some type of substance has been put on it by any means? Because I mean, me personally, I kind of look at what they've shown within this little verbiage here, kind of like a deterrent, you know. This basically, for somebody who doesn't really like reading this kind of stuff, if they did have an opportunity to glance over it, this would lead somebody to believe that PSA does have a method of identifying that kind of stuff and it will not be graded. But the question is, do they really have something? I mean, again, we all know that PSA is coming up with these slabs that are supposed to minimize the ability of cracking cards out of them. Don't know how true that is, but in the event that it is not, okay, well, that it is, I'm sorry, that it is, my question is, as far as companies that actually produce cleaning kits, such as Kurt's Cart Care, are they going to be handing out refunds, or are these individuals going to be continuing to buy these kits just for the microfiber? I don't know. I mean, to me personally, I don't see anything wrong. You know, there's nothing wrong with a little microfiber, maybe some human breath, couple of wipes, done deal. You know, that's just my opinion. But if you haven't seen the definitions, this is the entire definition that Tiffany Cards actually posted on Twitter. And it was used in other videos, so I figured I'll show the same thing. But this is a site. This is what his site actually looks like. Altered Card Base Database Baseball, and basically this is what he has thus far, as far as what is identified as not authentic. So, for example, we've got this Hank Aaron with this certificate number at a PSA 7. Possibly he doesn't have really any evidence to prove otherwise that it's fake, and it was founded by BBC Emporium. So that is what's going on with the cleaning business in my opinion. All right, comment down below, let me know if you're still going to be one of those individuals that looks to find ways of trying to maximize their opportunities of getting a gem mint 10. Me personally, I just throw the microfiber, call it a day. All right, so we all know the national is about 30 days away. All right, because every time I get on somebody's live stream, that's the talk of the town. Now, we all know the information of what's the events that's going to be occurring, who's going to be there, so on and so forth. Okay, now the question I have is, once upon the conclusion of the national, who is going to Fanatics Fest in New York City? Okay, so this function, it's going to be an inaugural event that is happening in New York City. Okay, and the dates for the New York City Fan Fest are 16 to 18 August, and the actual location of this venue is going to be the Jacob Javits Center. The ticket info, we are looking at bear with me. All right, so premium packages, let's see. They're not showing me any prices on premium packaging. They did say one of the packages is going to be about, tickets are going to be about $50, right? Is that what I'm getting? Get tickets, accept all cookies, got that. All right, so VIP pass, let me go ahead and make that a little bit bigger. We're looking at $464 for the VIP pass. All right, so it's $400 plus $64 for a service fee, and everything included for that. You've got access for all 3 days. First access to show floor on all 3 days. You skip the line access to Topps exclusive product drops. More details will be coming out, and I'll go ahead and drop the link to this venue in the chat once I'm done here. You also get $25 in fan cash to use across fanatics.com or Fanatics Sportsbook. You get $25 credit to Fanatics Live. You got a VIP gift bag and some more stuff to come. The regular tickets, 3 days for an adult, you're looking at $153-ish. 3 days for kids, $76. And it only applies to kids 12 and under. Adult tickets for 1 day, you're looking at $50. It's $50 for adults, plus the $868 for service fees. For kids, you're looking at $30 minus Sunday. Sunday, for some reason, is $20. I guess probably because you got to go not do your thing at church. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share this link with you all. So in case you do want to go, and for some reason I cannot put it. Why can I not put it? Okay. It's not going to let me put it. So I apologize, but what we'll do the show clicks ticket. Okay. What else we got? After New York, they actually have two other venues that they got going on. They do have one happening at PNC Park, which is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, September 28th and 29th. And then in November, from the 1st to the 3rd, it's going to be happening down here in the Sunshine State, specifically Orlando, Florida. So look, if you happen to live close by to one of these three venues, and you do plan on taking a trip down there, when you do come back, just let us know how the experience was. I personally am going to the one in Florida. I am going to be bringing the missus with me, so I'm going to be documenting via vlogging. I'm going to do some recording while I'm out there. And touche there, Larkin, depending if a hurricane will allow it. But we will see. We will definitely see. All right, so that is pretty much all that I have for this week's podcast. I have spoken to Adrian earlier this week, and we are going to be implementing some changes upon her return for the podcast. So more to follow on that. And yeah, as soon as we find out, we will let you know. So that way you are all kept in the loop. So, yep, Pittsburgh Stadium is going to be nice. And I do know, hopefully, the one that's happening down here in Orlando, I get to meet some of you boys that are actually close to or in Florida. We could do a nice little meet and greet while we out there. Be kind of fun if you ask me. So that's pretty much all that I got in regards to news, upcoming releases, all that good stuff. All right. I do know I got an email from Arnie, and I'm sure that it was a mass email. Right after the podcast, he's actually going live, and let's see if I'm going to pull up his email real quick just to reiterate what he said. All right, so basically he's saying that he's going to be live after the podcast for a cheap fill 22 box variety mixer. Currently he has 21 spots left. Okay, so you know how Arnie operates. The moment you fill, the moment he rips. And then if you do not have any product with him already, shipping is going to be an additional $5.99. So just keep that in mind. If you already made a purchase and have a package with us, please pay directly $22, and he lists his email in the body below. There's no limits. Trades are allowed, and he's also got he's got an incentives going on. So if anybody pulls a 24 Series 2 hot dog foil parallel from a blaster, you're getting $10 in free brake credit. So pretty good deal. And some of the stuff that he's actually breaking is 6 blasters of 24 Bowman, 7 blasters of Top Series 2, 1 mega of 22 Chrome Update, 1 mega of 21 Chrome Update, 1 mega of 2020 Chrome Update, a blaster of 24 Big League, 2 blasters of 23 Archives, 2 blasters of 23 Tops Update, 1 blaster of 22 Panini Draft. And he put in there that it does come with an auto. So if that interests you, Arnie, feel free to drop the link to your live stream in the chat so that everybody's made aware of it. And what we got going on? Looks like Stanton came up lame, scoring from the second. That kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the game yesterday, Larkin, but the Yankees literally got their asses handed to them. I mean, bad. All right, Jason's got family stuff going on. Yeah, I mean, if you are not able to actually, purchase into the break, just come on in, hang out, talk baseball, talk cards, doesn't matter. It's a good time. All right. So I'm actually gonna go on to YouTube now. Arnie, do you have your link actually posted already? I'm almost certain you don't, and it wouldn't surprise me. No, you do not. Your non-proactive ass. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we got going on. All right. As soon as I find out of one, Adrian's return, two, any information regarding everything that was published here earlier today is released, I will be sure to post it in the Discord, or I will bring it up on the next episode. Okay, so with all that being said and done, it's been fun and it's been real, and I'm gonna catch you all on the next one.